here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today, I'm sorry, I can't stop smiling. This is such a fun project. Today we are making an emoji coin purse. Look at this. So when I saw these purses on Amazon, of course I had to have some because I thought they would be perfect to try and put some crochet to them. But of course then you try and find a theme, or you want to do circles, or you want to do a color scheme, and then all of a sudden it hit me, of course, yes, emojis. So oh my goodness, I had such fun trying to first of all make the actual yellow cover, and then of course which emoji was I going to put on, which face was I going to sew on, and then how to sew on the faces. So I do hope you will enjoy this project and that you will try and make some. I have painted some emojis for you as well, and they will be appearing on the screen here and there. So I hope you will enjoy this video, and let's get into it. So for this project you will obviously need these types of purses. I found these on Amazon, and of course when I saw them I knew that I wanted to make these as well. So they are linked down below in the description box. I am also using my In Art Form Plus, my foam stabilizer, to make it sort of stand up nicely. So I have cut that to the shape of my little purse here with my fabric scissors. This is also linked down below. You will then of course need to make a cover, and we're going to crochet a cover. So I have found some colors that would be appropriate for the emojis. So black, white, dandelion. I have here lipstick and turquoise. I just thought these colors would work, depending of course on which emoji you're going to be sewing on. This is DK yarn. I am going to be using my 3.5, which is what I always use for DK, so use the hook that you usually use. You'll need a darning needle and scissors, and also here of course we have to attach the cover that we are going to be making to our little purse, and I have some needle and thread to be able to do that. So I think that's all we need, and we will get started with making our discs for the cover. So we're going to make a magic circle. So have the yarn in your fingers like this, then wrap it round your fingers, then come back and make a cross. Then I go under this strand here, pick up the back strand, twist your fingers and bring up a loop like so, twisting again, and then go and get that back strand again, twisting again and doing a chain. So now you can remove your fingers, and we have a loop that we're going to work our first round of double crochets in, and we can then close it up. But to be able to close it up, you're going to have to work over these two strands here. So I'm going to do an extra chain for the height of my first double crochet. Then I'm going to do a double crochet into the magic circle. So you yarn over, you go into the circle, you pull up a loop, you yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. So let me show you that again. So I'm holding the circle tension so I can get into it easily. There we go. And I'm now doing 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be doing 11 double crochets because the 12th one is going to be that chain that we did to start with. So 4, and this is my 11th double crochet. Now if you notice that your bit here is getting too short for you to work on, you can always just pull it to make the circle a little bit smaller, so you've got more space to work on it there. But I now have my 11 double crochets, so I'm now going to pull, holding on to the double crochet so they stay flat, and I'm going to make my circle really small, bringing together the tops here of my double crochets. And of course this one here is going to be my 12th one, but it hasn't got a top, so I'm going to go under the 11th V, take your working yarn and tighten it all up a bit, do a slip stitch. There we go. So this is our first round, and we have 12 V's going around the outside of our work. Now we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and this is going to be my last double crochet of my round. So I'm going to disregard it for now, and I'm going to pretend I'm just starting my round. In the first one here, of course, we are going to be placing 2 double crochets. So this is the first one, and this is the second one. There we go. Okay, and we are going to be placing 2 double crochets in every stitch around. So that means under every V you are going to be placing 2 double crochets, doubling your stitches from 12 to 24. So here I've just done 2 double crochets in this stitch here. Now we come to that stitch where we have the chain coming out of, and so looking at the V, I have some space here for placing a double crochet, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And then of course that chain that's already there is going to act as the second double crochet, so this gives me my 2 stitches. Now I'm going to skip those 2 chains, go under the 3rd chain here, or at least that's the top of the next double crochet, and I'm going to do a slip stitch to close the round. I now have 24 V's going around the outside of my work. Now for round 3, we are going to do the increase for round 3, of course. So first of all, we're going to get started with our 2 chains. We do this every round. And now, as we are round 3, we are going to do a repeat of 3 stitches. So you're going to do 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. There we go. So 1, 2, and 3 goes in the same stitch. So it's a repeat of 3 stitches, the first one in the first stitch that you encounter, and then 2 in the next stitch that you encounter. And if you haven't seen my video on the scared stitch, which is a way that I have invented on how to remember how to do circles, how to make sure that you can create a flat circle, I will leave a link here in the top of the screen for you to go to and have a look at that video. It might be a little bit silly, this thing that I've come up with, but so many of you have watched this video and so many of you have found this video incredibly helpful to help you remember how to do your increases for a flat circle. So let me get on with doing this round, where I am doing a repeat of 3 stitches, 1 in the first stitch and 2 in the next stitch. There we go. I will meet you at the end of the round. I've just made it to the end of the round, and here I've done my last little increase. So here I'm doing a 1 stitch on its own, and then here I know I have to do 2, but of course that last stitch is already there, so I'm just going to do the 1 double crochet, then this one is going to be our second one, go under the next V and close the round. You now have 36, so 12, 24, 36 stitches in your circle. And we are going to do another round because of course it's not big enough yet for my purse. So let's get started. So this time, round 4, we are going to do a repeat of 4 stitches. So that means 1 in the first stitch, another one in the next stitch, and 2 in the next stitch. So this is our repeat, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches in round 4. 1, 1 and 2. I will see you at the end of the round. So I'm just doing my last little repeat here. So 1, 1, and then in the last stitch I'm going to add 1 to the chain, skip the chain, and yeah, there we go, a slip stitch to close the round. Now it is not quite big enough for my purse, so I'm going to do a round of single crochets around this. Now this is the point where you have to check your circle against your purse with your tension, of course, because if your stitches are smaller or larger, you might not need to do the last round that I'm going to be doing now. So you need to just make sure that you check to see how big your circle is. Do you need to add a single crochet round, a half double crochet round, or even a double crochet round? That's all up to you. So it shouldn't be far off, or maybe you should be doing a half double crochet in this previous round that we've just done. So you need to just look at that and adjust your stitch height. So adjust your stitches doing either single crochets, half double crochets, or the double crochets. So I'm now going to do a round of single crochets, and I'm not going to do any increases because the single crochet is not tall enough to make this go wavy. So I'm just going to do 48 single crochets because in that last round we have now created 48 double crochets. So I will see you at the end of the round. So insert, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. So I've made it all the way around. Now the chain that I do before I do my first single crochet, I don't let that count as a stitch. So I'm just going to go under this V and do a single crochet. Then I'm going to go and skip this one and go under here and do a slip stitch. There we go. Now to make the height for our purse here, we're going to do half, or well, 3/4 maybe, of a round, because of course we've got an opening here. So we're going to do this length here of half double crochets, but in the back loop only. So we're going to chain 2 because I also chain 2 for my half double crochet. Then you're going to tip the work towards you and see the V's. You're going to yarn over and pick up the back strand of the V, so the back loop, and then you do your half double crochet. So pull through 3 loops. So this is how you are going to go around for 30 stitches. We've got 48 stitches in this round. I now am going to do 30 half double crochets in the back loop only, and that will give me enough for making sure I can have some depth to my purse, to my cover, and I'm going to be covering this but leaving open, of course, where my zip is. So I will see you when I have done 30 half double crochets. And as you can see, look, we're not increasing anymore, so we are making a nice ridge as well because we're using the back loop only. So it's standing up nicely. I will see you at the end of my 30 half double crochets. So I have just finished my 30 half double crochets, and so either now you cut off this yarn or you just leave it on the ball because you're going to need it for crocheting your 2 panels together. So you've got to make 2 panels. So if this was your first one, you'll have to cut it off and make your second one. And I've sewn in the ends here. So these ones now really are ready for some emoji faces on them. So choose wisely, I would say. So I have needle and thread, and I've got black here, and I'm going to do a big smile here. So making sure I have my cover straight. So this is where the, yeah, so there. So this is where the zip is going to be. This is the base. So this is the middle of the base. I'm going to start sort of about here. Now you can do this however you want. Do you want to go around the stitches? Do you want to go through the stitches? Do you want to do this like so, you know, with a running stitch, you know, like this? Or do you want to try and do maybe slip stitches, or try and do it with your crochet hook? It doesn't matter, just try your best basically. So I'm just going around the bodies of these stitches, around sort of the tops of them, and I'm doing a running stitch. There we go. I think, is that thick enough? Yeah, I think it's okay. And just have fun with it. Actually, I've painted a few of the emojis which you have seen floating past in the video, so I hope you will be able to maybe just pause and see which ones you like and you want to copy. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it just looks like the one that you intended. Or you could do this with double thread actually, make it a little bit thicker. I'm just doing a single strand. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eyes, and I've still got my black yarn from the back, so that's okay. And they have little ovals for eyes, so I thought I could try and make a little black oval. See what it looks like. So this one will have to be sewn in, and this one will have to be sewn in. So what I do to sew in is just go into the back of the black that you have placed there. So don't go into the yellow, because you'll be able to see that. Maybe do a little knot around the strand there. Just pull it gently. There we go. And then here, I'm just going to go and put this on my needle and just go around these strands here at the back, just to give it a little bit more sturdiness. There we go. Look. Oh, and there's the one that oh yeah, I'm gonna do a yeah, changing her mind as usual. I'm gonna do a winking one. So I have finished putting my faces on. Now I have to say I didn't do a very good job while I was showing you, but I just persevered and tried again, and also I went over it again in different directions, and that made the shape better. So just try and try again. I have had to cut off one of them because it wasn't, you know, in the right place, it wasn't high enough, and actually it works. You can just cut off your things, pull them out and start again. And so yes, this one I am happy with, so I guess you do get better as you do more of them. So I like this one. And then of course here, the 2 hearts, they weren't that easy to do either, but I used 2 threads at the same time, and that helped enormously. And as you can see, they're quite thick because I did keep going over them and reshaping them, and it just worked. So it's just a way, yeah, trial and error, I would say. So for this mouth, I first did the outline of the mouth, and then into the strands I kept going like this. So I was going into the strands that were already there. That made quite a nice line, and I just laid all my strands like that, and it's like this at the back. So I'm thinking that looks fine, this looks fine. Like I said, try again, and with a little bit of practice you will get better at this. So I kept my end on one of my panels here, and so now we are going to continue. So I'm going to put my hook into the loop, or reattach your yarn if you cut it off, and of course with the good sides on the outside and the bad sides together, we are going to start crocheting this together. So make sure you hold on to your yarn, you've got the hook in your loop. So what you're going to do is, into that first V of the first stitch on the other side, you go in, you pick up your yarn and you pull it up. Then you go to the adjacent V, so the V where that loop that you already had on your hook is coming out of, so the very first one. You are going to bring up a loop there, and then use this loop to go through these two. So one and the loop on your hook, there we go. Now we do the same one in the next one. So pick up the back loop of the next stitch, come back up, go to the next V here, pick up the back loop there, wrap your yarn around because that will make it stay behind the hook. There we go. Did I lose a strand? No. And now you pull through the two loops. So insert, pull up, insert, pull up, pull through. And this is how you are going to continue for those, of course, 30 stitches that you have. And I will meet you when you have crocheted your two sides together, and this is what it looks like. There we go, that's the last stitch, and this is what my join looks like now. I do like this. There we go. So let's cut off this one here, and of course you have to sew in the end there. But before we do that, let's see if we can fit this around our purse. But first of all, we need these, so let's put those against our purse. Then put it all into the cover, and now you know that, you know, the crochet will give a bit, so that's good. So there we go, look at that. Oh my goodness, isn't that cute? So all we need to do now is get our needle and thread. I've already threaded it onto my needle, and once again we're going to try and start sort of inside, behind, into that corner there. That's where I want to be. Of course it's all fallen off, so let's put all that back in. And I'm not going to attach these. You could just attach these quickly with a big cross just so that they wouldn't go anywhere, but for now I'm just going to go into my crochet here with my needle, and then I'm just going to go and stay alongside the edge, just underneath the V's of my yellow panel there. See, just there, under there, and I'm trying to come out under here so that, you know, inside you won't see that you've done that. So just do gentle stitches to attach it, and even though this yarn is white, you know, it's so thin you won't see it when you're finished with it. And I just pull up the crochet and it will all stay in there. So there we go, this is how you will continue along both the sides so that you can attach the crochet, and really there's no need to attach it anymore, because that's all that can come on, you know, sort of all this will stay nicely where it is. So I'm just going to continue and then continue on this side as well, just pulling it into place. And here we have it. I have finished sewing on the cover to the actual purse, and oh my goodness, I love the look of this. So I am really happy with how this turned out. I think I'm going to use it for, you know, sort of my cards and then a bit of money, but then also here, you know, you can put your keys on it so you have everything together. And of course, wouldn't this make a lovely gift for a teenager or a child, or even adults? You know, you can go a little bit more adult with your emoji face. So I do hope you will enjoy making this. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.